Gold was selling then at $2,041 when we made that forecast. So, what happened? The wild card was played. Trump came in. We just talked about Ukraine war. There was fear of World War III escalating. Those war fears have calmed down. And Trump's selling the BS too that he's going to stop the Middle East war, the Israel war, which I don't believe he's going to do. But anyway, those fears are calming down. Here's some data. Gold's down 5% since Trump came in. That's exactly in line what happened when he came in 2016. Then it went down almost 12% because he sells the line that it's going to be pro-economy. And the dollar's getting stronger rather than weaker. Silver was down 13% after Trump's 2016 election. So, here's the deal as I see it. Trump is going to do everything he can to pump up this economy. Because all he's interested in is the bottom line, more money for him. And more money for him means a better stock market. And how do you get a better stock market? Let's go back to 2018. I know that's ancient history, but we'll go to December. The S&P 500 and the Dow were down 10% in 1 month, 2018. What did Trump do? He forced Jerome Powell, the Fed head, to lower interest rates. Boop, markets skyrocket. What happened? Oh, remember the repo crisis? Oh, no, we forget about that. Oh, that was in September 2019, from artificially propping up the markets. Let's go back to the COVID war. Trump called a state of emergency in America on March 13th, Black Friday, 2020. What did he do? Pump trillions of dollars into the economy and force the feds to lower interest rate to 0 to artificially boost up the economy. So going back to the markets, I believe he's going to lower interest rates. If he lowers interest rates, the lower interest rates go, the deeper the dollar falls. The deeper the dollar falls, the higher gold prices go up. And again, right now with Trump came up, the dollar got strong again. It hit like a year high. So that's the story. You don't know what's going to happen, but that's if he keeps playing the same cards he's played before, that's the bet. Again, you look at the election. By the way, I got the election wrong. I thought Harris was going to win. And the reason I thought, again, we only go by data. You go back to Howard Trend's journal in May of 2022. That's when the midterm elections started heating up in America. And then, of course, they voted in November. Inflation was 9%. Biden's ratings were in the toilet. The Republicans did lousy in the midterm elections. You know why? One issue, abortion. They were anti-abortion, and that's when Harris hit the campaign trail. We wrote about it as it was happening in 2022. We thought abortion would be a major issue again. Now we're going back to talk about what you're talking about, the economy. You look at the data coming out from the surveys of America's consumers' attitude. It hit a 4-year high. It's been up in the last 4 months before the election. We thought she'd get the black vote because go to the web, people say, oh, she's not black. I'm not saying what color she is. I'm using her language. Go to the White House and she calls herself a black American with an Asian ancestry. Anyway, we thought she'd get the black vote. Oh, she's Jamaican. We thought she'd get the Latino vote. She didn't get any of the votes. She went down on all of them. Matter of fact, there were 10 million, about 10, 11 million less Democrats that went out to vote in this year than in 2020 when Biden ran against Trump. Why? You look at the polls when they left the election, after they voted. It's the economy. People are suffering. So Wall Street has nothing to do with Main Street. And the people are going down. That's why he won. That was the major issue. What's going on with the genocide being committed by the United States and its allies supporting the Israel war, the Ukraine war, only 4% of America's voters saw global issues as a primary issue. So it goes back to the economy. And he's going to do everything he can to prop up this economy. Look what's going on with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
If there was no cryptocurrencies, gold prices would be double what they are. You got all this money going into looking for another safe haven asset. And Bitcoin's become that. And again, we've been bullish on Bitcoin for years. But again, a wild card. All of a sudden, Trump gets $150 million from crypto people, and now he's promoting Bitcoin big time. So you can never predict the wild card. Again, the Trump picture will change by lowering interest rates, and that's going to bring the dollar down. When the dollar goes down, gold goes up. And this is the world has had enough of the United States hegemony, economic and geopolitical. Look what just happened in Peru. They built this huge port for shipping. Huge. China built it. So, yeah, China's going to do less business with America because of the, 60% tariffs that Trump is going to dump on it. But they're going to South America. They're spreading through Asia. They're spreading through Africa. The BRICS are real. It's the beginning of the end of the United States hegemony. This country became the country that our founding fathers fought against. Great Britain, where the sun never sets on the British Empire. Oh, by the way, Trump is going to increase the defense budget. Mr. Piece of crap, if you increase the defense budget. It's like $1 trillion, over $1 trillion when you put in the CIA and everything else. Anyway, China is spreading around the world. The BRICS have had, as I said, enough of United States hegemony. We became the country we hated, the UK, but here's why. The sun never sets on the British Empire. You have to say it properly. You have to speak properly when you're killing people and stealing and robbing. They destroy their economy with all their wars. End of story. The economy died because of their wars. Go back to World War I. After World War I, the pound collapses and the dollar gains strength because America was skyrocketing back then. We became the UK. All our wars, the countless hundreds of trillions of dollars spent since the end of World War II. There once was a man by the name of Dwight D. Eisenhower, 5-star general, Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, 2-term American president. He warns the American people, this is a real man, that the military-industrial complex is robbing the nation of the genius of the scientists, the sweat of the laborers, and the future of the children. Here we are. You should see how rotten this country's become. The roads are all potholes everywhere. Bridges are collapsing. Go down to New York City, and I'm a city guy. Homeless people everywhere. People drugged out in front of you. Garbage all over the streets. People afraid to go out at night. I'm down the city I'm up in Kingston, New York. This is the first capital of New York State. And I'm about 90 miles away. I'm down the city last week. I ain't getting the cabs. I keep asking the cab drivers, what's going on? 12:30 at night, New York City's dying. When I was a young guy in the city, we were going out at 1 o'clock in the morning. 12:30. Older people my age, nobody out at night anymore. Only younger people. The thing's going down big. And again, going back, they've had enough of America, and America's destroying itself. So yes, I believe there's going to be, at some point, the dollar's not going to be the the major currency anymore. But again, it has to be a new currency, a brick currency, because China ain't going to make it either, because they destroyed their country by their 3 years of zero COVID policy. And I want to make this clear too. I believe countries have to become more self-sustaining. Look what happened with the Russian war, with the Ukraine war. Biden and all these countries put strict sanctions on Russia. Companies fled out of Russia. What did Russian people do? They took over the companies that left. The GDP went up. No, they didn't die. They became more self-sustaining. They have the human and natural resources to do so. So too does China. And so too does America. But America is so dumbed down now, it's just pathetic.